Hi, this is a quick video basically about soldering. I've done soldering in the past, had some success but not a great deal, and after watching Ron Calvary's videos on building and doing soldering on his actual Iowa, and he's done a little bit on other ships as well, I thought myself, it's time to give it a go again. The only difference is I had a big one of those big irons, the ones that everywhere, so big thick cables, and you've got to try and wheedle it round. And because Ron was using solder paste, I thought myself, I'll give that a go, because he mentioned, he said good luck, so I thought I'd give it a go, and I have. And basically that's the new soldering I've got. It's a pen soldering as far as I'm concerned, because basically it's so easy to use, and basically it's a USB 2 connector cable or a plug to give you a higher voltage, but it works up to quite a few degrees. But the one it's set up to now, it works straight away. It's 300 centigrade, and I found that was perfect for this low melt soldering paste, which is this. Don't know if you can read that because I can't see it on the big screen. That's not good because I ain't got it's over there and I've got it switched on. So there you go. So that's what I do. But the only thing I've done to it is added something slightly different. This is a brush on liquid flux, and I watched a video of someone else using it, and it's really good. I like it. You just put a painted odd bit on, put a bit of flux along the joint I want to do, and run the clock. And I've actually soldered this little thing here, which was a spare one from the PE. There you go. Oh, there. What I'll do is I'll show you down there. What I'm going to do now is I'll come down to the bench and show you the tool a bit closer. That'll be easier. Here we go then. Back in a second. Right, just the second part of this. This is the soldering iron I've got, and basically you can see that there. It's a really nice one, and it's really small. That's what I like. And when you can put it back in its box, I've actually got it stored in a plastic pod along with the soldering iron, soldering paste, plus my flux liquid, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So that's the iron. It comes in a box like this. If I just do this, there's the booklet. And that's the bit that comes in. That bit there's for a collar that holds it level sitting on the desk, and that's the iron that comes in. It plugs in, so you can actually put it in away, quite a small box if you want to put it away. I've actually left mine together, and so that when I get it out, I've just got to plug the USB 2 in the back of it, and away we go. Any computer USB 2, but I've got it on a socket on the plug, which has got a USB 2 to charge it, and I got that with it as well. So here we go. So this is the gun in question, the old soldering. I can say it's not very big, and it's easy to get to. So to give you an scale, it's very small tipped, and I've also got a spare tip which I haven't used yet, which I forget in round corners, and there's an even smaller one to really work really well. So I've just got that one separate, so that's okay, no problem at all. So, and it works really well. So I'm just going to show you what I have done with it. And there's that, like I said, with the holder, it stays on the desk like that. This is what I've done with it. This is a bit I soldered as a practice piece, and there you go. And inside, because I put the soldering paste on the outside, you can see the corners are not very as secure, but it's not over in your face, as it were. It'd be ideal for doing those cranes and things and bits what I've got to do on the Arizona, and that's some of the small Bismarck as well. Sorry, the Bismarck. So really pleased with that, the way it's come out, and it's stronger than what super glue would be. So that's good. So all I have to do is switch it on, and this is where it comes on. I'll just put it like this way so you can see it. And that's what it comes on to. A lot of in views, you can see actual but what it's doing. So if I just press this, it starts to warm up straight away. It's going to get to 300 because that's what it's set on, which I'm quite happy with. You can do a few settings anyway, but that's the 300 centigrade is the one I'm using. You see how it gets up there quite quickly. And it's still going, but it's not long when you think about it. And this is from cold, so therefore it's going to be different, but there you go. And now you're ready to solder. and it's excellent. So I'm really pleased with it. As I said, I've done that one. Didn't take too long. Bit of clean up afterwards on the outside, and then you're done. So looking forward to using this on a few more projects, and of course I'll let you know how I get on with it later on when I start doing a bit more soldering. So there you go. So to switch it off, all you do is turn it off of the socket and pull the plug out, and there you go. There's more to it because I haven't read the book completely, but I have, as I said, it's a solder, right? It's quite an easy. There it goes, and that'll cool down there. But what I've also been using, and this is what Ron told me about, using soldering paste, and I've been watching him using it, and a few other people all, but mainly Ron when I was watching him, and I thought that's not a bad idea. So, but I'm not using the tip. I couldn't get it to squeeze through the tube, and I think Ron's had trouble with that sometimes as well. So what I do is I squeeze a bit out on the mat, and I only have to have the smallest bit on the bits, and it, with the flux it runs flows quite nicely across the joint, and that's the flux I've been using as well. And I've got another bottle of this coming. I forgot I had this one, and I found it. I thought, oh, I can test it, so I should be using this one. It's got a brush, so when you undo that, come out, and you've got a brush there. You can see that. Oops, I think you can see that. There it is. You can see the brush. You just brush a little bit. They're very thin. I make sure there's not much on it, and just get a little flow there, and it just smooths it all out lovely. So really looking forward to that. Gonna let it cool down a bit more, and then I'll put it away. And what I do is, because I want it handy, and I don't know who Andy is, but anyway, I'll put that in here, and I have the spare one in there as well, so it's in there. I'll make sure the flux is on there because it stands up in where I've got it, so it's like this sort of thing, and I'll wait till that's cooler, and I'll put that in there as well. And I've got a lid for this as well. Where is it? Goes on like so, and I've got my little tub over the corner. I'll put it in where my brush were, and I've made room for this just so it stands up. So that's that cool. So that is it basically. This brush, this brush, you could talk about airbrushing now. This soldering iron, really like it. Simple to use. Got setting. You press the A. It comes up with settings, and you press up and down to get to the temperature you want, and then you press both buttons and it's set. And then after that, you press the first one to get it to heat up, and it works really good. So as I said, I've only used it on the one bit, but I'm really pleased how that turned out considering how small it was. It was worth doing it on a small bit anyway, and yeah, chuffed with that. It's working fine. I could have used it on the crane for the Nelson, but it's too late now. I've already actually finished it, but well worth it for joints where you need something a bit stronger. It could work really well, and some of those magazines would have most probably worked really well with it as well, but I'm quite happy with this. So anyway, I'm not saying I'm happy anymore. So there you go, Ron. I have actually just tried a bit of soldering your paste, and it does work lovely. But I think the flux adds that liquid flux just adds that little bit of flow across the edge part that bit much better. So there you go. So catch you on the next one, and I'm going back onto the building those 20mm gun platforms for the 62 guns I've got to do. So see you later. Happy modelling. Catch you later.